the fire in your eyes, wondering what I've done wrong. Those words are kinda hard to find, so I just had to write this song. I don't wanna see you cry again, and no matter how the story ends, I'll always be there for you. Cause I see colors for the first time, I'm starting to realize nothing's ever black and white. And I'm caught up in the first night, now it doesn't feel right, I'll just have to say goodbye one last time. I know that it's hopeless, but we'll both be fine. Cause nothing's ever black and white. Cause nothing's ever black and white.
Meow.
JBetto here reporting for Titan Esports News. It is an after dark and stormy night. All across the country, our Titans have begun their battle. It is loud and it is scary. We have one brave reporter, Ausy, on the scene right now to update us on the situation. Ausy, take it away.
Hello everyone and welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Titan After Dark Episode 1. My name is JBetto, your host for the news, joined today by Ausy. How is it going, my friend?
I'm doing so well. Thanks for having me here, of course, and everyone, welcome. As yeah, we're here for the news this week. What do we have today? Well, what's on the card?
Well, we're going to be talking about some of the new divisions that have been added to Titan. First of all, I'm going to quickly introduce myself. From Australia, casted a few games here and there, but Ausy and I both came from Slash All, and Ausy, both of the new divisions also have come from Slash All. So we're going to talk about, I believe it's the Berserker division first. I'm going to tell me a bit about this game you casted. Now, this division doesn't have an official cast at Titan, but it does have some co-streams that you did yourself. Talk to me a bit about this match.
Well, this past Thursday, I was able to cast the Fools 5 Knights team and go against the Jolly Rogers Tortuga squad, where the Fools 5 Knights 2-0'd the Tortuga squad, where Tortuga looked a little shaky in the later stages of the game. I think in game 2 they had a little bit of a lead, in which ultimately resulted in them dropping that lead and then losing. So early game, obviously not too bad for Tortuga, but I also think their drafting in that series was kind of interesting, to say the least. As, yeah, of course, good drafts, lead to a better thing for you here. As, the better your draft, the better your chances are in the game, of course, is my line of thought. But obviously, the lower brackets that you happen to be in, the less often that's true, because you can win with anything. Like, I've seen straight losing drafts just win games.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I'm a big proprietor that the drafts are super important. I mean, if you've watched games, any games that I've casted, I've talked with you as well about it. The simplicity in draft, I think, is a key to winning games in the earlier stages of your competitive career, I'll call it, right? When you're in a lower division, but even if you're in a high division, you need drafts that have synergy first of all, but there are drafts that are quite difficult to execute on that have synergy. It's always better, in my opinion, to have simplistic drafts that follow a very outlined outcome of what your draft wants to do, understanding, in your team what the draft wants to do, and then playing towards it. But yeah, it's super cool to see this many teams. I think it's I'll have to be fact checked on this, but I think it's 150. I saw the number of teams, which is just unbelievable. An unbelievable turnout. That's ridiculous, but it's super cool. It's super cool to see that many people want to play.
Yeah. And to like mention, right? Obviously, the fact that there are so many teams just means league's not going anywhere anytime soon. Like the amateur scene is.
NA.
It's
Good
just
NA.
the amateur scene is obviously growing, so that's a good sign for sure. But to bring us back a little bit more onto the Berserker here. Fools 5 Knights looked pretty good. Obviously, I think, again, their early games were a little shaky compared to Tortuga, but they were able to very, very, very handedly out-micro Tortuga, which I think makes, like, the Knights very formidable, like, for the rest of Berserker, because you're looking at it, right? Like, teams aren't going to macro that well in the Berserker League. So if you have a team that's macroing really, really well, it puts them in a position where it's harder for them to drop games, because the way you win games typically is through macro. It's not going to come down to like, oh, you got caught because of some bad micro decision, because people are making these bad micro decisions here quite often. It's not going to be like the whole, oh, you got picked once, like that's the game. It's the more macro where they're going to be able to like take over games.
Yeah, or even like, you know, in these lower divisions, your levels 1 through 6 CS just wasn't good enough. Now you're down 500 gold because you're against, you know, X player that's just CS is better than you. Macro decisions are massively important in MOBAs in general, but yeah, in League, in these divisions, and it is super cool to see teams be able to make those decisions. And going forward, I mean, I know that this is, you know, week 2, week 3, whenever people are watching this, but it's really important to have a base foundation of macro going forward, looking towards playoffs, right? Because like I said, it's the start, but you're looking towards the end goal, right? If you've already got a baseline of great macro and you can practice that over the season, get better, understand how your other teams are playing, because, you know, you've played against every team once, then going into playoffs, having that baseline is really important, because you're going to be under pressure. Now, in the early rounds, that doesn't really matter as much. You're not really under pressure at all. But being able to make those decisions, being under pressure, will make you a team that can be formidable. If you can have great macro combined with good drafts as well, it's a formula for success.
Yeah, but to talk about the new league coming in, so we talked about Berserker, but also we have one more here, Olympus. I had the joy of casting that on the official Titan stream this past Friday, or the week 1 Friday, depending on when this comes out to you guys. So that was against Crime Syndicate and Fools 5 Vanguard. I think they're named Crime Syndicate. Let me double check that real quick. It might be Original Sin. I've been casting so many like Syndicate and Fools 5 teams, it's absurd.
Yeah, every time I see it's like, oh, it's another Fools 5. Oh, it's another Jolly Rogers team here. It is cool.
It is Crime Syndicate, so I was right about that. But so Fools 5 Vanguard got it off strong in their first game 1, and then Crime Syndicate had a really strong game 2, so tied up the series. And then game 3 was kind of a fist fight where ultimately Vanguard conquered the Crime Syndicate. Both teams, like obviously Crime Syndicate, right? Like they have a very solid roster. They've shown in the past that they can win these games. And even with like Vanguard's interesting comp in game 3, and also some like poorly executed picks from Vanguard throughout the majority of the game, they still were able to convert it in the latest stages of the game to like convert it into a win. So they do have an understanding of how to take games late and play it that way, even if their comp isn't necessarily the best. Like game 3, they picked out Nocturne LeBlanc and didn't really play the pick style for the majority of the game. But then Sinja in the mid lane just finds, or like Sinja on LeBlanc just finds a completely like game-winning like execution that just wins them the game. And yeah, looking forward to both teams, right? I think Crime Syndicate back to the drawing board a little bit here, because they definitely have the tools to easily take the series if they wanted to, but unfortunately unable to get that one going so far. But hey, it's the first week, right? If you're gonna make mistakes, the earlier the better, because you can always correct that. as they happen. So that's the benefit of losing early, in my opinion, is you get to use that
Yes.
information and make yourself much better. And obviously, like, you start making mistakes later in the season, it's harder to correct because those games start to matter more. So
I'm just gonna quickly have a look at this clip that you sent to me. Actually, to check if this is the game I was thinking of. Is that the set that they picked Nautilus Jungle in game 1?
that was not. That was a BOL
That was
co
different.
stream. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've got the, I do have this one though on the oh, okay, yes, I see.
Yeah.
Understand with that steal as well that you told me.
Yeah, just
many
helping our
things will
friends
happen
out
at
over at
once.
BOL. We need some casters, so we helped them out here. For fun.
Yes, a lot of things all happening at once in the NA Amateur, but I mean it's a good thing, right? You were talking before that it's good to see it live and well. I've seen some Doomer posts here and there surrounding the death of League, and I don't want the death of League. That doesn't sound very fun. Moving on into our next segment here, MSI Hillshock Shake-Up Shack. We're talking about the next two patches, 25.12 and 25.13, coming to us for the MSI patches. Haven't been officially announced technically, or 15.12, 15.13 if you want to call them that. But these are going to be two big patches, and these are important, right? Because having two big patches back to back, just as a league starts, when they've completely come out, you're looking middle of the season towards the end. I would imagine, depending on when they come out, maybe even bleeding into playoffs here, depending on how long the league goes for, depending on if we need any like tiebreaker matches, and depending on how long it takes for these patches to roll out. I imagine that they'll both be out before MSI, so by the end of the month at least, would make sense to me. But yeah, coming into early weeks to mid weeks of Titan, having these big changes towards quite a few champions, a lot of buffs, quite a few nerfs here, some adjustments towards Atakan, Grasp, etc. It is going to make a difference. Obviously, not all of these things are catered towards, amateur or ranked play. We were talking about the Kalista. Kalista's not getting played anything outside of semi-pro, basically. It doesn't get played. It's just too difficult. It's not something that goes towards. Even things like Rumble doesn't really get played too much. Azir, not really played too much as well. But a ton of champions here that we were talking about could be seen. Aurora buff, right? The Garen, Jax, LeBlanc that you just mentioned. I mean, LeBlanc getting a buff. That's good for teams that play these champions.
Yeah, also, you did mention no one was playing Azir, but we actually, last Monday, had like 7 people pick Azir.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was
Wow.
absurd. So people are slowly starting to pick him up. I've never seen that many Azir games happen at a individual time, but he's picking up some popularity here, but the nerf
Good.
might dissuade that a little bit. Even still,
Just a little nerf.
yeah, just a small nerf. I think the biggest thing is the boost speed. That's gonna end up being
Yeah, that hurts.
very annoying for
Maybe
him.
we're seeing Swifty's Azir time.
That would be quite interesting. But
Gross.
there are a lot of things here, right? Nico support's gotten very, very popular across just
Yeah.
any league, right? Doesn't matter what skill level you're at. And so yeah, that's my I think these patches are going to change quite a bit for some teams, but also maybe it's not going to do too much because we're still looking at like people B1ing Jinx, like,
Yeah, people are very very fond of that pick. The Nico as well, interesting point. Kind of pushing it away from the support, pushing it back into mid with a bit more scaling from items here. Mordekaiser is a thing, I've seen that banned quite a few times. Having some more scaling is interesting. Then you're walking into the Lee Sin, the Aphelios. I would be surprised. Maybe at the maybe in our Immortal Conqueror of Vanquisher leagues, I could see some of these picks getting picked up if you've got like a really good Aphelios player, maybe a Bard player. I think there is a Bard player. I was watching the finals of Titan for the last season. The support in the finals, one of the supports apparently was a Bard player. So I mean, like here and there are players that are getting impacted by these changes. And this is only round 1, right? There is still going to be a round 2 of buffs here. Oh, sorry, buffs and nerfs, changes to impact the game and players. And regardless of that, you've still got like system changes that are going to affect everybody, no matter what, right? The Atakan, more prioritization towards spawning in the top lane. is important. Like, regardless of if you think your team could, pardon me, play around the Atacon or not, having it spawn next to Dragon is a macro thing, right? Whether you're able to do Dragon and then Atacon, whether you're prioritizing a ton of vision towards the bot side or not, if it's spawning up top side, like, it's a very different look at the game. You know, grasps change. How many people are playing Jace Nidalee grasp? Probably not many, but still some, right? It could be some. I wouldn't be that opposed to seeing it a little bit, but yeah, those are difficult champions, especially in top. Like Jace, Nidalee being, if you lose lane, if you don't like get what you picked them for, especially the Nidalee, you are completely useless. But yeah, round 1, round 2 will come out, I assume 3 weeks after. Obviously has to be before MSI. Could really impact the game, like for our Titans here.
Yeah, I definitely expect it to impact some people, but obviously, you know, nerfs don't really seem to affect very many teams, especially around like the Berserker Olympus. They definitely don't seem to care. They'll play whatever they want, whenever they want, regardless of how nerfed it is. If they're good at the champion, it often works anyways. So we'll have to see if those changes do anything for us, or if they do nothing at all.
Yeah, I think one more thing here, some closing words before I send it off to our next segment. One thing that's really important that I like to talk about, and if anyone is listening who takes this on, it'd be very cool. But I think I learned this from Polar Bear Mike. You know PBM? Yeah, okay. I was watching some draft analysis from him when he was talking about how he drafts for his team, his professional team, around, I think it was Worlds or Vegas. It was one of the two. And he was talking about that when big changes happen in the meta, the two things that you can do is A, go back to what you were playing before that patch, like before a few patches ago. If your team has practiced something, it hasn't really been nerfed or buffed, just keep playing the same thing until you've figured out what you want to play in the new patch, right? Don't try to change it up and play something new just because it's been buffed. And the second thing is that comfortability, as long as the comp is like, as long as it makes sense, right? Comfortability is kind of number one, right? It's the most important. Just because something that you play got nerfed a little bit, if you're really confident on it and you think it's a good game to play that champion, you should just play it, right? Regardless of buffs or changes, this isn't MSI. This is not, you know, the best players in the world. There are some great players here. Like, I've watched some great players. Even in, you know, all the divisions, I've seen some really good executed players. Really well executed players. Just play what you're comfortable with. Play what you're comfortable with. You know, theory craft with your team in DMs. Talk about drafts like we were doing the other night. And at the end of the day, have fun, because that's what we're all here for. I've been JBetto. This has been the news, joined by Oz. Next episode, we should have some more guests and some clips to go over and a bit more thorough analysis here. But for now, I will leave you with that. Everyone have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sator's news and weather broadcast based on Runeterra and how the patches are going and how I expect. So please, if you do lose LP, it is not my fault. There is absolutely nothing I can do, but this is what I think is going to happen. So we go up towards the Freljord and up towards Noxus, and we're going to figure out Udyr and Smolder. So Udyr back king of the top lane, going to be very comfortable with those recent buffs to his kit. But Smolder had one patch free and now is back in ADC jail. Might see him pop up every now and then, maybe into some Sennas, which we'll touch on later. But for the moment, please try to stay away from Smolder. It has been nerfed back to its original state. As we look at the rest of the patch, as we've went through it so far, we do have Cho'Gath, Senna, Lucian, and TFs with some very nice changes. TF has been popping up every now and then with some recent buffs. He might reappear in the bot lane after a quick little TP and dominate, but Cho'Gath has been sent back to the Gulag. Won't be seeing too much of that R key disabled. Don't even try it. It's not worth it. He may be a gentleman, but the weather is not in his favor as we do go down to that Lovers bot lane. The original Senna and Lucian, these two. Lucian in competitive absolutely will be smoking people left, right, and center with Senna to back up with those new buffs to Senna. Very, very excited to see that one. But we do have something very special in the weather, and we've seen some very, very good and bad things happen. But Twitch, the rat in the hat, the magician, the magic that is rat-a-tat-tat, AP scaling. Now, what does that mean? It means he's not an ADC. It means that you're going to see Twitch support roaming all around the map, just making your life hell. Hail of blades and a hailstorm of AP coming from this rat will be absolutely exceptional as long as I'm playing it. If anyone else is playing it, I hate you and I don't want to ever see you again. But that is the weather report from Sator. Can't wait to see you all on the Rift very, very soon. And Vanquisher, I'm coming to watch you. All praise and pray for the Church of Sator. See y'all soon.
Okay, there we go.
There
Now-
we
now
are.
Now we can see faces.
There we
So
are.
I'm looking more at screen.
So sorry, everybody. It was hidden, and I don't know why, so I apologize. But we're here. We're here now. Welcome, everyone, to the summer split of Titan and to episode 3 of Titan After Dark. I hope everybody's having a wonderful start to your summer. I don't know about you, Sharogen, where you've been, but it's hot as fuck here. Like, it is, like, really hot.
Yeah. It is stupid toasty. I was wearing a jacket prior to hopping on here. Like, nope, never mind. Not doing that.
No.
My electricity bill is already high enough. I don't need it going any higher.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't, and this might be different for like the continental US, but I feel like at least for where I live over on the east-ish coast, it was like pretty cold, rainy, kind of nasty, and then we're just in Satan's anus weather already, and I'm not there for that.
See, I do have the advantage being in the deep south that it is a very dry heat, so we're getting, roasted and actually baked and cooked out instead of having to deal with swamp ass. So like that it's not muggy, at least.
Okay.
Except when it was those nasty storms that just decided to rip off the roofs of the houses.
All right, well, with the weather out of the way, I know we already got some of that from Sator, but today we're going to be reviewing some of our top clips, so thank you for everybody for submitting this. Thank you for everybody to, like, Helper, who is our fantastic person who he edits all of this stuff. He puts all of these clips together for us. So we're going to be looking at some of these clips today. We have some incredible ones to watch for everybody, so hopefully I hit this correctly and don't fuck it up.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well,
Okay,
that's
so-
a problem because our cameras are on top of it, but why?
Yeah, that is a little bit. I mean, I'm
There we
much
go.
more
All
interested in
right.
the legends than my own
All
face.
right.
Okay.
All right. We got it. Anyways, this clip is actually insane when you get to it. When you realize there is a full-on team fight going on the left here, and Ash is just cooking away. She is just going for it.
The ADC split push, it's not something you usually expect to see. It's always going to be a top laner who's usually doing it. But seriously, when you're having a nasty team fight like this, it's like, great job splitting attention because nobody realized, wait, why are we not dying as quickly as we should be? Oh, wait, Ash isn't here. Where's Ash? Ash is in the base just deciding, you know what? I'm done with this game. I want out. It's been 35 minutes. I have to go do other things.
Like, I genuinely can't believe that somebody gets away with this. Like, in a comp game, like, nobody says, all right, we have to peel off so I can TP back to the base. She's got Baron. Like, nobody has the, like, thought to say, all right, we gotta go.
I feel like we're missing just a little bit of context prior to this clip. Although,
I'm
look
sure.
at that Ash arrow going down mid lane. Like, obviously ready in case somebody had decided to come back. So, Reckoning was clearly ready for any sort of, like, attempt to stop them from taking this. And the base, like, it was a done deal. Like, as soon as I saw that Ash right there, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, there's no way they can end this team fight quick enough.
Yeah, and Issacc
JRS
actually...
did a fantastic job.
Yeah, Issacc makes a really great point in the chat that it is 22-5. That is some other important context. So...
I was trying not to focus on that. I was trying to focus on the team aspect of, like, JRS is just doing a good job splitting focus, and they're drawing attention, not raffle stomping all over FFR.
All right, let's head into the next clip here, I think.
Ooh, I already like the title of this one. I'm looking for it. Where's it? Into a wall? Did I see that right? Did Malphite decide he just wanted to become one with the rock in front of him? No, Espada. Espada. This is not what we want to see from the Cuatro Espada.
You know, I saw this clip and I come up with like the fun titles, right? I come up with the fun titles and Helper also names them something. Usually they're really long and I can't like put them all into like the template here. But this one was just called Espada with like 3,000 question marks. And I was like, this can't be good. Like, I mean, there's really not a whole lot that we're saying here. He's just like, yep, I'm going over this wall. I'm going to get that Varys, like, Jussie. It's Pride Month. I'm coming for you. You're gay. And doesn't even get close.
And, you know, I would really love to see Espada's viewpoint of that, because I almost guarantee you that when he was looking at the tooltip, he could see where the Malphite ult was supposed to go, and it was clearly in the middle of mid lane. But, you know, Riot Spaghetti Code Mordekaiser just decided, you know, we're just going to pull you back just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just pull you back just a little bit and decide into the wall instead of the lane.
I feel like he clicked on the wall right before he was going forward, so it actually paced him backwards a little bit. Like, you know that mechanic where if you click a wall too close, it'll push you back off of it? That's what I feel like actually happened here.
It could be something like that. And I mean, just, you know, for even more despair to kind of get layered onto him, you just have the Ahri throwing in the charm.
Yeah.
Being like, haha, no, you're sticking around and you're enjoying the fact that you failed this miserably.
Yeah, everyone saw that, buddy. See, if I'm the observer of this game, you know me, Sharogen, I am zooming so far in on him. You would be able to see the little crab on Malphite's back in that skin. Like, it is over.
Not gonna lie, I'd be replaying it.
Over and over. Well, we've replayed it enough, so why don't we hop into the next clip here. And I do have to say, this one's called Teamwork, and I don't really know where I'm supposed to look during this.
Okay, so I believe this is... Okay, I remember this game. It's kind of insane how... Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I think this was the Dragon Steel between IDV and CEP. I was the broadcaster for this one. As soon as it happened, we were just in chat going, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. So focusing on it one more time, I wish I had my notes handy for this particular play, because this was a fantastic play by IDV.
Look at that Caitlyn line of traps. The fascist comes back. Holy.
Oh yeah, very much so. A Azir knockoff. So they managed to get the Drake on the side of red side, so CEP gets it, but blue just absolutely demolishes and just tears apart CEP.
This is crazy, honestly. And this is kind of what, when like you imagine, like when you say like a teamwork truly and like a team play, like this is what I imagine when you're like, you think of like those amazing, incredible team plays from like pro play. Like this is what like you clip, and this is what you think of when you see like highlight reels of like, you know, this team, you know, RNG is your nightmare kind of shit. Like this is what makes it onto those reels. So this is a really cool play to see from an amateur team. I think this is very cool to show. Yeah, even if you're in the amateur league, we can pull off plays like this. So I thought this was very impressive just from this team in general, from DB.
Yeah, and there's a lot
IDV.
of like really good micro skills like you're mentioning that are coming in there, like that Azir shuffle. If he had just angled it slightly more into river, like somehow gotten a little bit of a more horizontal angle to cut off the river, could have easily prevented the rest of IDV coming around and getting onto that back line, and you would have been able to carry on the fight a little bit longer, maybe turn it around.
I just know that Janna's butthole was like clenched as that Zach was coming at her. She was just like, ooh, I gotta be skinny.
But now onto the Ori ballet. I'm excited to see what this is.
Yeah, I will say, some of these I watched beforehand just because I have to help edit them, and this one I think I gasped out loud at what happens.
So you're gonna have to be the one to give me a little bit. That was perfectly placed. Oh my goodness, the fact that they're all squishy, it's helps so much.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say anything, because I'm like, I don't even need to say anything. It's just like, I would be so upset. That is, again, the Ori play of pro play, truly. That's when you've got, like, Chovy, you've got Showmaker that are playing, like, Oriana mid, and that's, like, the most insane insane kind of play. Not even, I mean, it's just one ult, truly. Like, the ball is there, it's in all of the super minions, they don't even see it.
No, it's completely hidden. That Dark Star skin really blended in well with the Baron buff of their own minions, and so I could barely even tell it was there.
Paid to win, truly. Honestly, it's and so this is such a cool clip, and I just want to watch it one more time because each time I just go, ooh, like my stomach just hurts a little bit.
Just a little bit, just a little bit.
Like, oh, that's the play I wish I could do on Ori. Anyways, we're looking here at Nerf Renekton, please. You've got a Seraphine with him. So, I mean, I know it looks like it's a good play, but you've got a Seraphine with him. If he was alone, I think that this is, like, he's a wash. But you've got...
It is Renekton. There is a lot of healing just in that base kit.
I guess my point is saying, like, you've got no chance with Seraphine there. Like, they all go in on him thinking they're gonna kill him, and, like, he maybe could have gotten out of it as Renekton alone, but with Seraphine there...
Flash, though.
Like, you're done. There's no way you're winning that. The healing that's coming from her and from him, especially because, like, I checked, and this was healing Seraphine, too. It's like... Whew.
Yeah, it kind of brings me, like, you know... Riot has always had trouble balancing heals, like grievous wounds. It's such a difficult mechanic to balance anyway, just like true damage. That's one of those two things where I'm always like, I love the fact that it exists, and then I hate the fact that it exists.
Yeah.
Because there's really no way to balance it.
Yeah, it's definitely, and I don't know. You have the of course of like if Renekton doesn't, get a few kills early, he's a lot weaker, right? But you still have this like this champion that I feel like I keep going back to pro play, but this champion that's very popular in pro play, and Riot just doesn't necessarily want to put him to a place where he isn't completely broken if you know the mechanics. But of course, that is kind of the point of a lot of champions. You have to know the mechanics, and they're broken at that point. But I don't know. That's swirling at me. I would, if I was them, if I was that Hecarim, I would be pissed. I would be pissed.
I just like seeing Renekton toy with his food.
He is. It's a super cute skin. I really wish they would put out more of that skin line. Like, I know they've been doing some of the April Fool's one, but I don't know if you agree. They just don't hit. Like...
Oh, that's certainly something we can talk about in the fashion corner.
This is true. All right, let's move on here.
Okay, so this is another one of those IDV. I believe that the set we want to watch, this is going to be really nasty.
Oh!
Look at that flash!
Owie! Oh. That hurt me through my screen.
I love this play so much because Please Be Patient is so good at being patient. He holds his skills at just like the right times and just immediately gets the showstopper is just slightly short so it doesn't go over the wall, which you think might be a bad thing, but no, he knows exactly how to pivot and just gets that haymaker and clips all three of them.
Yeah, it's again, it's a stupid mechanic, truly, right? But it's just like when he's that strong and you don't see it coming and it's just like wham. It's kind of like that Ori damage where it's like, oh my god, like holy, that came, it like not out of nowhere, but that feels like it kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right.
So good.
This is, I had no way to title this clip. This is a very long clip and there are so many things that go wrong in this clip. There's
well, the first thing going wrong is Otacon. I'm sorry.
Whee! Believe it or not, that's not even the point of this clip. The point of this clip is coming.
Oh. Okay, we got Poppy hiding on the wall. What's Poppy doing? Okay. What?
I feel bad for this player, but like
I am so confused. This is
what we were going for. And that's what I'm saying. I had no way to name this clip because, like, what do I call this? Like,
you should have just replaced the audio with Yakety Sack.
Yeah. Just shit show. So many things go wrong. You could not pay me to imagine that this would have happened in Vanquisher. That's where this happens.
Oh my goodness, that is kind of nuts.
Like, Oh no. Oh no. I don't want to be him. I don't want to be him, but like, oh.
It's like I feel bad for the Poppy because I've done that too, like where you just accidentally tap R instead of hold it down, or it's like you hold it and for whatever reason the input just doesn't register properly.
Yeah.
It feels awful, but oh my goodness, I still think that my favorite interaction is the buy and Talia.
This is so funny, and believe it or not, this is not the last we're gonna see of this style of interaction tonight. We've got more of that going to come up here just in a little bit.
Oh god, is it this one?
It's the next one. It's the next one. This one's also a little silly. This one's also a little silly though. Boop. Uh-oh.
Okay, oh goodness gracious me.
Oh no.
Just look at all of okay, we got so much going on here, and of course you got Wukong doing the spin to win.
I think the point of this clip truly was, why would Smolder, and I don't think he actually meant to, but why would he get into the Rift Herald? Was it a misclick or was it choice? No, he meant it. I'm looking at this. He absolutely meant to get in there. He clicked on that. There was nothing around him to misclick onto. Oh
my
god.
goodness.
And whoever was the observer zooming in on him, but after the fact, chef's kiss. You and I gotta talk. That is hilarious. Just
so much going on.
Why?
I don't know.
Dead dragon.
I don't know.
Dead
I think it's
dragon.
just Smolder doing Smolder things, you know, being the child that he is.
True. He is just a little guy. So, all right, we are gonna go into our last clip of the evening.
Okay, I already see a Thresh, which gets me excited for some of the shenanigans that might happen here, and an Amumu. Oh goodness. How far are we traveling here?
Wee. Not as far. It's not. It is kind of a letdown after the Talia wee, but he does go.
He does travel a fair distance, which is hilarious. I was kind of hoping, I'm not gonna lie, for like a lantern pull and a Mumu bandage and all of that to like coalesce into this long traveling down mid lane.
Yeah, it is. I think that Talia clip could probably be its own. That was so funny. Like, and this is the same mechanic, like just to a lesser degree, you know?
Yeah, and that's just one of those interactions that I think is it can be beneficial and frustrating depending on the situation. There's not a whole lot you can do to control it. I feel bad for the Sejuani, obviously dragging the Amumu into their team, causing it to be really easy for them to get that nice ulti off, but
Yeah.
because that right there, it's like you're just basically the Orianna ball delivery against your own team.
And I think, do you ever think it's a little interesting? We're almost seeing kind of like a comeback of the like Orianna Amumu kind of meta where it's all just like, you know, death ball, you have no chance to outplay it kind of stuff. Like, I feel like we're seeing kind of a return of that style of meta in just, at least in these clips. It's like, this is pretty frequent that we are noticing this.
It does sort of feel that way, like you've got the heavy team fight engaged death balls that do seem to be making a comeback. Obviously, we're not Season 2, Season 3, where a Yasuo all by himself can just solo carry the entire game. Like, just put the whole team on his back and it's like, all right, I got this. We're gonna win. I don't care that we're down 20-3. I have hit my critical scaling and I'm good to go. I kind of miss those days, honestly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I remember losing those games and I don't miss it.
All right, with that, I think we are going to head over and send it to our casters on the fashion show. I don't know who those casters are, but I guess we'll meet them when we are over there, so.
I know I'm going to be one of the people.
Oh, you were supposed to
fashion.
listen to the bit, Sharogen. The bit was going to be, we don't know who's going to be there, and then surprise, we're
I'm
there.
sorry.
Oh,
I'm
you
a spoiled
ruined the
sport.
bits. You ruined the bit. All right, we'll see you on the fashion show.
All right.
Well, we're back. We're back. Long time no see. If only the bits had gone through.
I thought there was more. I'm sorry. I thought that there was other stuff going on. That's my bad.
So you hate me. In Pride Month of all the months, this is when you're doing this. This is when you're doing this. Okay, well, everyone, Sharogen and I are joined here by the wonderful Wookie. He is one of our other production crew and actually the mastermind behind the Titan After Dark production kits, which is very difficult to pull off, I have now learned.
You're doing great. You're doing so great.
Thank you.
We got 7 skins to go over. Holy moly.
Yes.
That is a lot of skins.
Yes, we do. I have to remember what my hotkeys are. This is a problem.
Well, I mean, it's on OBS.
Oh, this is true. This is true. Okay. What do you guys think of the Spirit Blossom line in general and the fact that Riot is changing the map for this skin? Let's start as like a whole before we get into each individual skin.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw this out there, and I'm probably gonna catch some flack for this. I think that the Spirit Blossom skin line is actually one of the more boring skin lines that we have had. I think that its initial showcase with Yoni, or Yon, sorry. With Yoni's. It's Yoni's hurt,
no.
okay? As a 30-year-old, that's what I feel all the time. But it's one of those things where I love Yon's version, and I love how he played into it, and I liked how Ari's, like, it fits. Teemo was honestly one of the funniest ones. I love the little Tanuki. I think it's adorable. But as we've gone on, and as I feel like almost all of the skin lines do with Riot, it got generic. It got boring, and it got stale. And I am very nonplussed with this set of skins.
I do think all of these skins are very pretty. You know, just taking a look at these, I guess, images right now. I think this, I do agree with you, Shorgood, actually, because, like, they're just, like, making skins just to make skins at this point. There's not, it's a lot of fluff, I guess. But these skins are pretty, so let's get into them. Let's go over them.
I agree. I think that in like general, like there's a lot of pretty women here. And again, not to belabor the point, but it is Pride Month, so
True.
All right, I think we're going to start off with Ash, I believe, is the first one that we're going to take a look at.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, it's not working.
It's not working.
I was clicking the wrong thing. Sorry.
There we go.
Lookie's gonna actually
Okay.
just strangle me after this, guy.
No. I mean,
He's actually gonna kill me after this.
I mean, look at this Ash skin though.
Yep.
Something that I think is very cool about this skin is they did a really good job with the bow in like her first evolution. I think it looks really cool. It's not like overly, done up and whatnot. I think it's really like it actually looks like something that could come out of the Spirit Blossom universe. It looks like she could have like just plucked some tree branches down and made it from that. I'm not as big of a fan as the upgraded bows, which is, I mean, not the hottest take, but it just looks overdone for somebody in the Spirit Blossom universe, which is supposed to be natural. And even if she's I think she's a princess or a queen or whatever she is in the skin line lore, but I don't think you can sacrifice that for the integrity of the Spirit Blossom skin line, which, I mean, as you said, Sharogen, what is truly the integrity of the skin line at this point?
Yep, that is kind of one of those things. I do like that she is one of the evolving skins. And if we're talking about more than just splash art and we're actually talking about in-game model, I do like how that goes. And one of the things I do want to point out is that when she's using the bow, she's not like using the bow, if that makes sense. It's more like she's kind of holding it out in front of her and like pulling it on the air sort of a thing, almost doing a Sona, which, why is there not a Spirit Blossom Sona? I don't know. Like, that would be perfect. But it's I've already said my part where I'm like, it's kind of generic. She's just a pretty girl, and I do think that the crown, like, there's some really nice design in the artistry, but I feel like the colors are too samey, and it gets very lost in the background, especially on the splash art. Like, on the splash art, I feel like there's not enough contrast.
I agree.
Specifically with the splash art, like, At first, I thought this was just another Lilia skin, you know, because it looks very, very similar to, like, her face. Her face specifically looks very, very similar to Lilia's. I don't know why, but it
And
just
to be fair,
reminds me of Lilia's.
Exactly. And to be fair to Red Shark, where the bow is split in the middle, yes, but it's a magic bow.
It's held together by the magic
does
of
what it does.
friendship.
But regardless, like, yeah, I think it's just it's an okay skin. Like, I don't think it's all that.
I will say, I think the one redeeming quality of this skin is when she ults, she does a backflip. That's really fucking cool. I don't know if you guys have watched the in-game, and I would love to work on this scene so we can, like, see the in-game model also. Dreams for another day. But if you haven't seen it, when she ults, she actually does a backflip, which is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. You know, it is pretty cool. I will say, of all the shitty stuff, I don't like the crown, and I agree with what everyone else is saying. She does backflip. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it seems like the in-game is a lot better than the splash art.
I guess that's what you're paying for at that point. That's what you're paying for. So, all right.
You are.
Let's go back up here, and I think our next skin is Board.
Okay.
Wow. Here's where we start to get to where I'm like, okay, I like what you're doing with the skin. I like that he keeps a lot of his traditional motifs of being whatever Bard is. And I think he plays very well into the Spirit Blossom skin line. Like, just in general, I think they did a good job translating him. I've got very few like notes. I love his chimes. I think they're cute. They remind me of the chows from Sonic. Makes me think of reminds me of having a little chow garden.
Yeah, it's a cute skin. I'd say overall it's a very cute skin. I love those little sprites. Those are sprites, right? Like, those are just little, like, I know they're chimes, but
yeah, Spirit Blossom, they would be sprites.
Sprites, yeah, those are so cute. I like those a lot, actually.
I'm gonna
the horn makes sense, right? Like, it just looks, it looks aesthetically calm. It looks, you know, Bard is a calm dude.
I'm gonna completely disagree with you guys. I think this is probably one of the weakest skins in this. They're all bad, but I really hate this one. And it was because I was watching there's a guy that I watch on YouTube that does design like this. Like, he does video game design. And I was watching his review of some of these skins, and he said that the leaf looks like a giant tongue. And once he said that, I couldn't unsee it.
Oh, well,
like,
thanks. Now you just make me
I ruined
like
everybody here, everybody in the chat.
Oh, no,
it looks like a floppy little, and then when he's running around on the rift, it like flaps like a wiggly tongue.
Oh my god.
That is kind of hilarious.
You cringe for that one.
I am not. Aside from the tongue, the reason I don't like the skin is because the lore says he is supposed to be like the god of nature in Spirit Blossom. And that is not what is showing on here. Aside from the leaf tongue in his little horn that's a flower, what on here speaks to the nature aspect of it? Everything else just looks like he's like a monk or some other person that lives in the Spirit Blossom universe, but for being the foretold god of nature, I'm not buying it.
No, it's a Tom Bombadil thing is the vibe I get from it.
What?
I get a Tom Bombadil vibe.
I have no idea what that is.
A little bit, yeah.
It's Tolkien's version of a druid,
Oh,
essentially.
I've not seen the Hobbit.
It's the one person getting into nerd lore like here, where the one person who could actually, like, he picks up the one ring, looks at it, is like, neat. Have it back.
Yeah, I agree. It as a skin, it's an okay skin. Like,
yeah.
It's
I think Bard has better skins, and I want to like this skin. If that wasn't the lore, if he was a monk, if that was him in the lore, I would like this skin a little bit better. But if that's what you're gonna go with, I'm not buying it.
See, you hit it on the head, Wookie, with it's an okay skin, which in this skin line, that's a compliment.
It's a compliment.
Oh,
Prestige Spirit Blossom Lux. It sounds
Bro,
like you guys have opinions.
This skin is so garbage. What? This skin is who is that? That's a new
There's-
character, bro. Like what? I like why? Like Lux has so many better skins. Get this shit off of my screen, bro.
It could honestly, it could also just be the splash art. Like that is just the worst thing about it because again, we have the same issue as we do with the Ash skin. There is so much white on this screen, it all just blends together. Make her hair pink for the love of God, or give her some of the blue teal aspects right there, and like you instantly got some highlighting contrasty colors that are gonna make it look good. This is not my least favorite skin. This is not the one that makes me the most angry.
I know which one it is.
of
I'm
the
gonna.
ones that we have.
I can I guess which one it
Oh, I'm
is?
so curious.
You can probably
Can I
guess
guess?
really easily.
It's
with it.
Ivern.
No,
What?
it is not. Ivern is not my like. There's one. It makes me irrationally angry.
Okay, well we're gonna have to
Like,
find out
that-
later then because I was
We'll
so
find out,
confident
yeah.
because that was the worst possible skin. I think that Riot took a turn with prestige skins that I really actually liked, and I was like applauding Riot for it when they like the Spirit or not Spirit Blossom. I'm so sorry. The prestige Star Guardian Syndra skin, and that really marked a differentiator in the prestige skins where they weren't just white chromas anymore. Like Lunar Beast Fiora was one of the ones before that Syndra skin. It's just white. She's wearing a mini skirt instead of pants, and it's just a white chroma, right? And I really liked what they did after they started with Syndra. Like there's the prestige Porcelain Lysandra skin. There's the prestige Ink Shadow
Right.
Yasuo. They decided that they weren't just gonna, expect us to spend prestige points or mythic essence on a white chroma. They were gonna actually make it a high fashion variant. And that worked for a while. And now we're getting this.
Yeah.
Like it's all the same thing as what you said with the Ash skin, but it's worse. It's all the same color. That face could be anybody's face. It doesn't
Same
have
face riot.
it yes, and it has no indicators again of what Lux truly performs in this like universe. Like it's such a if this was a normal prestige, I would still be, or if this was a normal skin, I would still be upset about it. But I'd be less upset about it. This is just such a garbage prestige, and it shows that Riot's going back down that pathway, essentially, of chromas of the base skin. This just doesn't get the base skin, so they can just get away with it basically being a chroma. And it's just so frustrating, because they did something right for once. I'm going on a tangent. Riot! What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing this. Let's go on. Next one. Get this out of here, please.
Was that enough of a tangent? Did we talk about it enough? I don't know, did we? Is everyone in the chat also in agreement and good that was enough? That was enough?
Like, to just go off a slight thing in regards to Lux, they hit the perfect skin already. They don't need to do another skin for Lux, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Just make the Elementalist skin line, do iterations of that. Like, you could, like, we've already got the base iterations. You could come up with other elemental combinations, and you could come up with some really interesting looks, because I think that's her best skin.
Agreed.
Like, period. Straight up. Like, there's no discussion about that.
Period T, Sharogen! I'm so gonna milk this bit the whole month of June. You guys have no idea.
Okay. Ooh. This one, okay. Alright. Moving up in the world.
This is one of the skins I loved. Like, I straight up, I love this skin. It's partially because I love the idea of floating swords and attacking with floating swords, because there was this image I saw ages long past on DeviantArt of some Jedi who was like, instead of fighting holding their lightsabers, they were just like holding like 4 or 5 different lightsabers in the air with the Force, swinging them around. And that's always what I loved about Aurelia. This skin just elevates it. I love the Oni aspects of it, the bit of a darkness inside her, because obviously fighting for I forget what the villains are in the Blossom skin line. But,
the
just in
Azakana?
regards to
The demons?
it's like the demons. I think that this was just a really this is probably my favorite one of this set.
Yeah, I actually agree. This is the best skin of the set. It's got its flaws, I will say. Like, if you were to look at this and and you didn't like, if you just were to look at the face, I couldn't really tell it was Irelia at first. But then the swords kind of made that work, like you were saying. So, but just the imagery and the angle, and
The
I guess
angle.
the angle is where
This
it's like,
is
okay, wow,
such-
you can grab my neck is right here, bro. My neck, right there. Yep.
Clip it.
You got
Clip
it.
it.
You got it right there.
This is such.
Also,
I mean, this is so cool. Not to interrupt you, Wookie, but
Yeah.
I just want to agree with that. Like this perspective. When do we get perspective shots like this? Like Lux is literally just going. She's just standing there going. Like, when do we get cool perspective shots like this? We get them with, like, Aurelia occasionally because she's such a dynamic character. But in Splash Arts, this is good artistry by... I'm so sorry to the Riot artist who did this, but this is so fucking cool. To see that, like, to see the perspective of the hand, and then you've got the mirrored swords floating. It's just... The perspective, for me, makes this skin.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I think I don't know if you remember this, Goldyn, but we had a certain skin on our last Titan After Dark that had another unique angle. So it's like every skin line, they do like one of these skins where it's got the angle. Why can't all of them have these cool angles?
Which one was
Only
it?
one of them can be exciting.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Wait,
Also,
which one was it?
no,
I can't remember.
I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the Shaco one.
Yes,
but
it was the Shaco one, because he was like, I'm getting all up in this. He was like up on
Yeah, and it's those cool angles that make the imagery that much more, like, you know, awesome, right?
Yes.
Also, quick note, I'm glad that ring is on her middle finger and not on her ring finger, because
That's her, that is her middle finger, yeah.
Yep. Okay, that's enough I'll say about that.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's when Wookie draws the line.
Wookie's like, I've got a chance. I've got a chance.
I got a chance.
Oh my god. Okay, well this next one is not working?
Uh-oh.
Hi, Kita.
No.
My cat's right here. Oh. Hang on.
I'm guessing it's Ivern.
It's supposed to be Ivern.
No,
It is. It is
supposed to be Ivern.
Is it? I think it's Varus. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Varus.
Oh, I thought we were saving Daddy Varus for a little bit later.
Well, we're just going in whatever order it's supposed to be in, but it's not turning on.
Try another one then for now, I guess.
Okay, well, you get your wish, Sharogen. We're going to Daddy Varus.
Yes, Daddy Varus. Thank you.
There's so many good sound bits that we could put in the Titan chat or the Titan Discord half of this. Somebody clip Sharogen saying that, and I'm gonna add it so every time I get into a voice call, it's just him going, "Yes, Daddy."
This is again one of the. I love when the hot men are allowed to be hot men in Riot skins, because sometimes it feels like they're not. Sometimes it feels like they're always held back, and it's always going for the female gaze sex appeal, or not the female gaze, sorry, the male gaze sex appeal on the ladies. And I
enjoy
so
that
with this one. It's like it does a great job again showcasing the duality that we know that is Varus, being a dark and in main skin line, and being I am again blanking on the demon names.
Azakana.
Azakana, the Azakana of the Spirit Blossom world. I love that it's bleeding through and that we're getting that. I do, for critique's sake, think that again the skin is a bit generic. You've got your standard beads with the teardrops that every motif of this type has. Like every time you have this sort of theming come along, you've got the large ropes with the tassels for a belt. It's like I don't feel anything that is making him stand out as Varus per se, but it is definitely just again a more exciting picture.
Yeah, the bow is definitely like the other skins. Like it's that one factor that's like, okay, this is Varus.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like the angles in this one too, because if you see on the bottom left, it's that I guess like one of his enemies was like perished, and you can see the flower on top of it. It's so cool. I like the cloth that he has in his hand, like he fucking just ripped somebody's cloth. It's just like, yeah. You know, he's very strong, very manly man.
You know, I think the skin is great. I've also heard the in-game is really good. I've heard that this in-game feels good, because we all know skins that look beautiful, but like the in-game is just like,
Poopy. Yeah.
you know, can't do it. I have that problem with the porcelain skin line. I like the skin line, but the sound of shattering porcelain every ability is a problem. But so I've heard the skin is really great in-game, which is a good promotion. I think this skin missed out on like a really good opportunity, because as we all know, Varus is 3 in 1, right? He's gay lover, and then darken. So he's 3 in 1, and in this he is a demon, and I feel like we missed such an opportunity to play with that with Varus's character, of showing a skin that shows him fighting between those. He's just a demon here, but what about the 2 gay lovers that were good people? Let's have an opportunity to show that with Varus's skin. See, we don't play around with that at all. He's just a cool guy with a bow. He's like the Arrow or Oliver Queen of League of Legends.
I think it's due to the angle too, because like his other self is like the arm, right? The arm is where the demon stuff comes, out of, basically, right?
Essentially.
So, like, that is on the background of the scene here. So just like in terms of splash art, yeah, it could be a little bit more of that, but I guess when you're playing with angles, there's always a sacrifice, right? So.
Yeah, and I just mean like he is, sorry, not to remember Sharogen, but like he's got the demon horns. He's full on demon in this skin, and I just think that there could be an opportunity to show he is essentially a mirror and have him actually fighting between those 2 forces.
He is very horny, yes.
Love that for my gay kings. Love that for my gay kings. I don't know. Yeah. Sharogen, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was the only thing I was going to point out is you're right, where like in terms of in-game, one of the things we do see is like in the recall, the bow is actually like trying to like go off and find more enemies, and you see him like holding on to the arm, trying to pull it back in, like that kind of thing. It's really hard to convey stuff like that through a splash art. I think it would have been really nice to have like a silhouette of like perhaps the Issacc, like the arm sort of like reaching out over Varus's left shoulder here, and then maybe you have the spirit of his other half, other third essentially, over his right shoulder, kind of trying to hold the hand back, sort of thing. Like there's ways they could have done it, and again, it's like we'll have to see if they ever end up doing something, because I feel like that's one of their, again, just a little critique on Riot, I feel like it's a bit token for Varus in his backstory. They're like, let's add this element to his backstory and never address it ever again.
Well, of course, because that would require effort on their part. So
that would require taking a chance of offending people.
All right, let's see if Ivern wants to pop back up. Nope. Oh, that's Aurelia.
I'm okay looking at Aurelia again.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Just a reminder, guys. Check out that ring on her finger, right?
Yeah, true. She's
available. It's on the middle finger.
She's available.
Yep.
You guys are so hilarious. Okay.
It should be Zyra next, but I don't know.
There it goes.
Oh,
woo! It's working. It's working. It's working.
And there it is. That's the skin that can just burn. Oh my god.
What?
Wait, you hate this one? Okay.
I thought you were getting ready to do another horny bit. That's where I was going.
No. Riot refuses to let the monster girls be monsters.
I agree with
that.
I
hate it
I agree with that.
so much. It would be so much better to have Zyra, instead of being a pretty spirit blossom plant that brings harmony and happiness with sweet smelling scents and whatever, and make her a discordant Issacc blighted, corrupted plant that's just taking over, and the vines are just draining every bit of life from this realm. Like, that would have been so much cooler, so much better. She's like that, oh god, what was that possessed tree from Thumbelina?
What?
No idea.
Like, I think it was Thumbelina. Like, there's this. It was voiced by Tim Curry. I can't remember. It's like this black sludge that was trapped in this really broken down tree. If you're a '90s kid, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's just, oh my god, like having her be a corrupted, sort of like letting her be evil. Just let her be evil for the love of all that is unholy. Let her be evil.
So, quick question to you two: do either of you know what the lore of this skin is?
No.
Off the top of my head, I do not.
I want each of you to guess in like one sentence what you think she's supposed to be.
I'm going to guess that she is the caretaker of some cursed element that she is making sure no one goes near and protects it. That's why that tree has the band with the charm on it.
Okay.
I mean,
Wookie?
guessing from the bright color, like this skin like has the bright color. So guessing from that, I'm thinking some sort of like mommy protector vibes here going on for like some sacred temple, maybe.
So she is the caretaker for the Garden of Misery.
Yeah.
Misery.
Let's go.
No.
Well,
Misery.
oh.
She is supposed to be. So she's holding on that like locket. She's holding on to her. The pendant
okay, I gotta have
is from a dead lover. So she is supposed to be the caretaker of the Garden of Misery and Pain. Tell me, I love this skin. I play the skin. It's super cute. I love the little tiny miniskirt that barely hides her cooch. Like, it's super cute. But tell me that tell me that splash conveys she is misery. She's not. She's an Evelyn knockoff that's a sexy hot mommy, which I'll take all day. But again, Riot, fix the lore.
Yeah, it just seems like there's not enough, like, I mean, obviously, like, this angle here is, like, very focused on her and not the plants, which I think in the other skins, like, even in the Aurelio one, like, we had a lot of focus on those swords that, like, they were in focus. The plants here are all out of focus and in the background, not anywhere near the forefront of the skin. So I can see, like, and you know, just what you said from the lore, like, I would not have guessed that this was a protector of misery or whatever. So
Yeah. Never. So.
And going back to what I was saying about being a blighted and corrupted plant, I think
That'd
that
be
would
cool.
fit so much cooler.
Yeah.
And you can keep the lover's pendant. She has it wrapped around like her wrist maybe, or like tied on her arm or her neck. And that is the one spot on her body that is not corrupted. That is the one thing that is showing she is still able to be doing what she's doing, but she's slowly falling to the despair of the realm she's supposed to be guarding. And it's like that reminder of the person she loved is the one thing keeping her sane.
Yeah. I just think this is a missed opportunity. But again, I'll play it because I love it. Like, if you guys haven't seen, I mean, her cooch is almost out in this skin. Like, she is, like, you can see double cheeked up. You can see the thighs through the front half of the legs, which I know a lot of people love. I love.
I see you've inspected the skin a lot.
Oh, yes, I have. And I got the blonde chroma immediately. It's better than the base IMO.
Okay.
Anywho, now we're on to my personal burn it in hell.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like,
This isn't even a skin. They didn't change anything. They didn't change anything.
Yeah, and Ivern is one of those champions that I feel like they kind of forgot what they wanted him to be, and so they just kind of were like, oh, he's going to be a happy tree friend person, but whenever you read the lore, it's like, wait, that's not what he is at all.
No.
My question is, why is this one like so blurred out? Like,
Because they
I get
didn't
it,
want to
but-
put effort.
Yeah, it just seems like a lazy chroma like change. That's it. Like, okay,
Yes, Sharogen,
great.
permit the word coochie.
Oh my god.
Free the people.
True. Yeah, this
let the
is
people
just-
say what they wish.
That's
This is
what
definitely
we're all
mine.
about on After Dark.
Yep.
That's true. There's no
Until we
coochie
get shut
in
down.
this
But
skin.
even then,
There's no
Definitely
coochies.
no coochie in this skin at all. Like, no hot dad vibes. I mean,
Nothing.
hot tree vibes.
No.
Nothing. Yeah, no. It's just.
Nah.
it's
I don't know.
this one just disappoints. It's like I'm not mad at this one. I'm just disappointed.
Like, could
Apathetic.
you even just add Daisy to the background or something? Like, come
know,
on, bro.
That's an element that's always missing in Ivern's
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
where is
do not
Daisy?
show off Daisy.
I,
I'm a
like
little
Tibbers is
disappointed.
always with Annie. Where's Daisy?
Yeah, exactly.
Make the little squirrel a tiny tiny Daisy. Like just make it a tiny Daisy that grows
squirrel is
whenever
The squirrel is cute.
whenever he
But-
activates it.
That's it. Nothing else.
Does anybody else think it's funny they gave him a gold earring too? I was laughing
Right.
at this
Like, what is his
because
tongue like?
he's just got the one, and Jake told me that in like the 90s, there was like a movement of gay men piercing only one ear with a gold ring. And I was like, that can't be like an actual movement until I Googled it, and it was. So is Ivern just telling us?
It's you pierce the right for gay rights, I think is what my mom told me a long, long time ago.
I love your mom. I also think this is my favorite quote about the skin from the chat is, he looks like he knows how to play the piano.
Yeah,
He
although I
does.
feel like he's more
he
like
does.
the guy who would pull out a guitar at a campfire and you wish he didn't.
Aw, yeah, true.
Overall, what I mean, I have a feeling I know what you guys are gonna say, but for this batch of skins, on a scale of A to F, what do we give this?
I give it a C, a C minus.
That's
purely
generous, I
because of
think.
Varys and Aurelia. Purely because of Varys and Aurelia. Those are the two. Like, I would have failed them outright, no question whatsoever, if those two did not exist. But it's a. I will let you pass, so I don't have to deal with you next year.
Your thing.
Yeah, it was A to F.
A to
right?
F, like a normal US grading scale.
And this is a solid D.
I'm agreeing with Wookie. I think you're a little bit
It's
too
a
nice,
solid
Sharogen.
D.
I get not wanting to see them next year, but they suck.
That's the
Yeah.
only reason. Oh, it's purely a pity C minus. It's a pity C minus.
Yeah.
If I was a teacher, I'd give you exactly what you've earned, and I think Riot has earned. Can I give a D minus? Is that a thing, or do you
Nuts.
just get a D?
Yes.
Okay, D
You get a
minus.
D minus.
D minus.
D minus for D's no D's nuts.
No. Take these nuts away.
Oh
Just
my
take them
God.
away.
Yeah, take all the nuts that squirrel has, and that's about it.
The only reason I'm not giving them an F is because they actually were willing to change the map, which I thought
Yes.
was cool.
Yeah.
And I like that, and I want them to keep doing that because I hope that then brings back the winter map for Christmas. That's my,
Exactly,
like,
For the love of God.
Riot.
That's all veteran league
But
players.
if we're talking about generic skin lines, that's
Let's go back to the Shamrock Malphite and those old ones, the old like Christmas Vigor. Let's go back to that. That was better
Yeah.
than this. That's better than
Oh, yeah.
this.
I think Riot is running out of ideas. That's just
Hire me. I have so many ideas. I have so many opinions, Riot. I
You
have
can
so
see it in
many.
these skins. It's not there. Like Irelia and Vara's probably the better of the skins, but that's still like
and
as a stat,
notice
nope.
they're evil.
Yeah,
You see that?
that's true.
They're the bad guys. Let the bad guys cook. I'm telling you. You can't have good heroes without good villains.
Absolutely. All right, well,
All right.
folks, thank you for joining us today and getting to talk, letting us talk truly about Zyra Kuchi and Daddy Varys and all of the best things. We are going to go ahead. D is right. You are going to now get an inside look at some of the Titan staff members' homes and pets. And then in just a bit later, we're going to do some caster therapy and some player trivia. So we're going to head over to this quick little intermission, and do not go anywhere. There's some fun stuff left tonight.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Caster Therapy. I am Dr. Freedom Potatoes. Yeah, welcome to my two casters who have joined me today. We've got Issacc casts, and that doesn't look like JBetto to me. I believe I believe I may be dealing with a pathological liar if this thing right here is directing me correctly. But yes, I'm Dr. Freedom Potatoes. I'm trained in using the Mundo's Medical Manual 5, the latest and greatest diagnostic guide that we use to treat and diagnose our League of Legends casters and players. And before we get into the session, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to all my lovely clients who have purchased this big old supply of Fearless, the number one solution to a stale league environment. Thanks to that, I've been able to fund this state of the art mental disorder research facility, shall we say. Anyway, welcome to my guests. This is well, you may recognize Wookie, and again, this is Issacc casts down on the left here. So yeah, I guess I since this is our first session together, maybe you could just introduce yourselves. Maybe tell me like what league you cast, how long you've been casting, or like what role you play in league, something like that.
Yeah. All right. I'm Issacc. It's okay. JBetto. That's not JBetto. That's not Issacc either because nobody can spell my name correctly apparently. That's beside the point. That's beside the point. I've casted primarily for Blue Otter League recently. I have filled in on Titan every now and then, so you may have seen me there. Every so often, I play. Well, these days mostly jungle because its Q times are the lowest, but yeah, that's that.
Cool. Oh wait.
We might have the real JBetto.
The real JBetto.
We have the real JBetto.
He's here.
He's here.
Hide my camera.
Wait, that means the other series was a 2-0. No.
No, it wasn't. It's still going, but I'm joining I'm joining.
Oh, damn. All right.
Well, we'll be getting the real JBetto shortly. But yeah, we have some diagnostic tools we'll be getting into shortly here. It's diagnosing our casters and their issues, of course, is key to any success we're going to have in treating those issues, of course. And yeah, once we've got JBetto, I will get that started. Yeah, so Issacc, did you say how long you've been casting for? Or is this a relatively new thing, or have you been doing it a while?
I have been casting. Let's see here. My first cast was when I was in my junior year of high school, so that would have been. See, I graduated 2019, so 7 years ago now.
Oh wow, quite a while then.
Yeah.
So you got plenty of experience. Well, I mean that's that I'm sure that much casting can take quite the toll on someone's mental. Oh wait, my whiteboard has conspicuously disappeared as well. I'll need that. I'll be so once I can conjure that out of thin air, then I'll get started with this game. Well, in the meantime, let's welcome JBetto back to the therapy session. So JBetto, how long have you been casting, and what leagues in Titan do you cast?
I have been casting since I was looking at the date the other day. Actually, I believe it was the beginning of 2022 that I was casting. It was purely just for fun with some community OCE Smite tournaments. Actually, there's not a ton of OCE stuff going on in general.
Having connection issues strike once again. That's unfortunate. Must be the OCE connection.
Yeah, that's because we were thinking it.
That's yeah, willed it into existence. Many people underestimate the power of the mind to bring things into existence that don't really exist. Well, maybe I'll get into some of my questions that I had saved for later that I can give you, Issacc. So what are you looking forward to with casting? Is there something you're kind of trying to improve on actively, or just here along for the ride? Anything that you're particularly excited for this split of Titan?
Honestly, the split of Titan, I'm looking forward to honestly seeing a few familiar faces like today in the current Olympus League matchup. They had why am I forgetting? Oh gosh, it's one of those things where you have lined up and then it doesn't happen. And I casted them before. It was a Blue Water League Premier lineup in Conduit. Why am I forgetting their names? I have their notes. Anyway, that's beside the point. Seeing familiar faces pop up again is always fun. Anyway, that I think you casted. This is the point I'm getting to.
Mm-hmm. Familiar faces. Okay, welcome back to JBetto.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, it's all good. I take it that was perhaps the OC internet connection. Some sharks got the fiber optic cables or something like that. They love to chew on those.
Well, I mean, sometimes like a kangaroo will just like fly into your room and you have to do battle with it, unfortunately. So I had to quickly go deal with that guy. He's a bit of a frequent at my place, so yeah, unfortunately, sorry about that. I'm back now.
It's a shame the camera just happened to turn off, so we missed it. But maybe next time, maybe we'll get to see
sorry.
it. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we can get into this little diagnostic tool I have. So this is just going to be some simple classic word association. I'm going to show a word or phrase on screen, and I just I guess we can take turns. I'll start with JBetto for the first one, and then we'll switch it over to Issacc. I've got my directions all mixed up, but yeah, and just say the first word, the first little phrase, sentence that comes to mind. I want we'll get the best insight into your mind and what makes you tick if it's nice and quick. So let me go ahead and pull up our first candidate, B1 Jinx. JBetto.
Oh well, I guess I'll take this. Especially if it's game one, that is an oof from me.
An oof. Okay.
Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
That's interesting. Okay, so I see here an adverse reaction to B1 Jinx could indicate a trauma response, perhaps post-tilt stress disorder, or something akin to that. I mean, understandably so. This is a pick that can be bullied, and as popular as it is, if it gets behind, might have a miserable time in the game. So, I am hearing that JBetto's answer is Gumayushi. So for this, I'm thinking this could be kind of a delusional optimism type of diagnosis. So someone who sees the positive in situations where it might not always be there. This could be very very a strenuous situation, and that kind of positivity could be kind of a delusional process. But the good news I have is for those who have a trauma response to B1 Jinx, there is treatment. It is called Lucian Nami exposure therapy. It's going to completely change the way you see the game, completely change the way you play the game. We have some openings for this therapy, exposure therapy. About 8 months down the line. So don't it's that's pretty fast for the system around these parts. But yeah, so we should be able to get over that soon. Well, since we didn't get a live answer from JBetto, I'll toss this next one over to you. For casting, when you see game number 5.
Oh no.
And oh no.
Is this for me?
That's for you.
Game number 5 specifically, or this image that is
game number 5, just game number 5s in general. I just put game number 5.
Fearless right now is what I will think of first of all, and how interesting the game 5 fearless drafts are, especially when they're true fearless.
So would you say you have a positive or negative emotional association with game 5s?
Ooh, I'd say it's a positive. I really like game 5.
I see. So, we may be dealing with addictive behavior personality here, addiction to perhaps music, silver scrapes. I mean, I've had many clients that simply cannot get that out of their head, cannot stop listening to that song. It is a banger, but it's dangerous. It's
just don't take away my game 5, okay? Like I swear I'm not addicted, okay? Please, I need it. Any time.
To resolve this possible addiction, we can maybe try some calming classical music and meditation, to get your mind off of silver scrapes. Or we could assign you to some best of 3 stomps, quick 2-0s, in and out real fast, break the habit, and help you get back to a normal way of life.
So basically, like the East versus NANEU.
That sounds pretty much spot on to me. Yeah.
God damn it! No, I hate that he's right. Ah.
Well, for our next word association, I'll pass that back over to Issacc. So our next one, we've got mages in the bot lane.
Ooh. Mixed. Depends.
Mixed. Okay. Could you elaborate a little, perhaps?
When they're not meta and someone pulls it out, it's hype as all get out. But when they're the strong pick in the meta, it's just like kill me.
Okay, I see that. Yeah, it's I've encountered many players who kind of have like a messiah complex. I think there's some kind of god for picking Ziggs bot when it's been done for months. So I do feel you a little bit on that one. That can be it can be a little tired when but there are creative angles too. So it's important to recognize those. Maybe it could be a symptom for our ADC players, a symptom of burnout from playing traditional ADCs, and this is a method to help them kind of move on from their past life. Yeah, but it sounds like you have a nice moderate relationship.
Are we talking about like just in the lane in general? Because we should like say like maybe mages support as well. Or just
I was thinking
about
I
the
was thinking in the
role.
carry role. The carry role.
Yeah. So then my answer remains the same, but I was just covering all the bases.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll toss it back over to JBetto for this next one. This one we've got Sems, our lovely owner. Goated. I was expecting this. It seems we have a severe case of a Stockholm syndrome and approval-seeking behavior. It's okay. This is a private space. He's not here. He can't hurt you. You can say what you really feel. But perhaps we can prescribe some group therapy sessions with
my lawyer.
I see. Perhaps some group therapy sessions with our TOs, or maybe practicing speaking in a mirror to set personal boundaries if he's got you working. I mean, it's working crazy hours or something, but yeah.
You can't. There's no Fifth Amendment in Australia. But I plead the Fifth. We're in America right now, right?
We are. That's where my office is located. This research facility. Okay. I'm going to toss it back over to Issacc now for our next one. Dr. Mundo.
I love these. I love Dr. Mundo. Dr. Mundo, especially the corporate Mundo skin, the fact that he has like a little car in his home guard animation. Dr. Mundo is like one of my favorite just champions in general. He's so stupid. And I love him.
Okay. My secretary didn't tell me that I'd be working with a psychopath today. Do we have security on site? Sorry. Ignore that.
It might be because I only have 3 brain cells, but
I was going to say that perhaps a lobotomy might treat this condition, but it looks like you may have already had one if that's how you feel about Dr. Mundo. But we'll move past that. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. All right. I think I've got one more task. And this one will go back over to JBetto for. This one is Bard. How do you feel about Bard?
Okay. I've got two separate things. In not professional play, I violently hate this pick. If it's in pro play and support's name is Carrier and or Beryl, I love it.
I see.
One of my favorite sports.
For your own games, perhaps that's could indicate some abandonment issues. An insecure attachment style developed throughout childhood. I mean, he does tend to leave the bot lane, and that can be very traumatic for some of our players down there. But meep-induced separation anxiety is actually what this manual calls it here. But it's it's good to see that you can move past these issues and recognize the many brilliant things that Bard can bring to professional play as well. So that's the end of our. Oh, sorry, I've got a treatment for you. So if you have a Bard on your team and you were playing bot lane, my recommendation to you is to perhaps practice some mantras. You can say like in your head, he's not gone, he's not gone, he's everywhere. He's everywhere all at once. He can be anywhere on the map. He's right here with me.
In the wall.
And so that's my personal prescription for treating the anxiety issues that may be caused by Bard in your game. So that's the last of that. But I do have a few more questions if we've still got the time. So, okay. I'm curious. Have you ever have either of you ever slipped into caster mode in your outside life? You know, you've narrated something that was happening around people that didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Yeah, I do it all the time with my friends. It's I just cast like the most random thing. It pisses them off sometimes, but I think it's funny, especially when like I'll be spectating, like my friend will be playing CS or something, and in the middle of a clutch, I just start casting really loudly. It really
Absolutely.
locks them in, I swear.
No, I actually same. My favorite thing is to cast over like friends' gameplay, especially in like games that I don't know. For example, CS. You have no idea what's going on. Just say random nonsense, and it's fun. It's fun.
I'm glad to hear you're able to have fun with that, and it's not, you know, embarrassing or anything like that. That seems like a healthy relationship with your line of work. Here I've got another one here. Does it affect your mental health when you have to pretend that a team has a comeback chance and the game is just
Oh,
clearly over?
Uh,
violently uncomfortable.
uh, um, it uh, see, on one hand, it is. I agree, it is violently uncomfortable, JBetto. But on the other hand, some of the nonsense you can come up with in the most like violent one-sided games, trying to come up with the most absurd comeback angle is
Hmm.
sometimes fun. And also, there's the other side where if you do take it seriously trying to find a comeback angle and the comeback does happen as you called it makes you feel like an absolute god. Right? Just ignore all the 500 other times you've casted and it didn't happen because it only happens once every 500 times. But when it does, it hits home pretty hard.
A little confirmation bias can be a beautiful thing for the ego. I must agree. Um, okay, this one, this might take a little bit more of time to come up with an answer, but I'm curious. If you had to describe your mental state when you're casting, using like a champion's kit or an ability, you know, what would it be? Is it like the late game scaling copium? Is your brain perma CC'd? Is your brain dashing all over the place? Or you got Vex's doom and gloom up in there? Like, how do you feel? If you could express your emotions through a champion or
Somewhere
ability.
between Mbessa's passive and Heimerdinger as a whole champion. Somewhere between there.
Could you elaborate on that?
So yes, like the passive, right? So it's like permanently dashing to,
Mm-hmm.
taking the 1v5, somehow winning, but also just standing completely still, setting up turrets, playing the team fight slow and smart, looking for is the E the stun? The like
The
enhanced E?
E.
Looking for one of those to like
Mm-hmm.
really get in there. Like somewhere between there. Can bounce between.
I see. So you're kind of all over the place, but you always like come back to that home base of those turrets and find the angle, that dream angle. I've got you.
Yeah.
What about you, Isaac?
Uh, a mixture between Lucian's E, his dash, along with the passive part of it, the cooldown reduction, and I'm going to say Yumi
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. So
because it's a very much a give and take, and when you're in that moment, when you're in the casting moment, you got to space things out perfectly and hit all the things. But also when we're outside of that moment, you can hop onto your fellow caster if you're kind of struggling to find something and just use them a bit because
Carry
it's a
me.
two-person thing, sometimes three. I've had the luck of being in a tricast once, but yeah.
They're chaotic. They always are.
Yeah,
finding
love it.
finding that balance is challenging. I've got to agree. But okay, that's some great news. Great input. I'll put this into my computer. I'll get a document written up to send you for some of that treatment. Some of those sessions. Getting away from maybe some of the bad habits. Building some new
Oh,
good habits. But yes, I thank you both for your time coming to therapy today. Thank you for being able to make it. And if I see you again, maybe we can dive a little deeper into how your mind works as a caster.
Cool.
Thank you. Hopefully, I don't get attacked by any kangaroos on the way.
Welcome to Titan After Dark. This is the players segment. I am the host for today and for the rest of the season. My name is Gray. I'm one of the League OPs. I'm also a player in Divinity and Conqueror. I am joined here today by 3 players from our different leagues, from Vanquisher all the way down to Gladiator. No less than Data and Jabber, both who are Vanquisher players. And Data plays for Church of Sator, and Jabber plays for XSV Wrath. And then joined from the Gladiator League, I have Tate. She's an ADC main from Glacial Storm. Today, the way this is going to work is we're going to do some trivia. I've got 3 different sections. They're all fun and exciting. We have plenty of questions to go through. And if you can follow along, if you want to take this with us, feel free to. But now I'm going to go ahead and let all the players introduce themselves. So Data, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, that'd be great.
Hi, my name is Data. I play support for the Holy Church of Sator. Praise Sator.
Awesome. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Jabber, if you want to go ahead.
Tell us we were doing introductions. I'm so unprepared for this.
Do you know who you are?
I jungle for XSV Wrath.
Oh,
I'm here for the memes and the dreams.
And to win, right?
Yes. No, this is purely a competitive game mode. Like, Gray said, we're getting lots of prize money for this, so. Here to win.
It's all of the same paycheck that I get from Sims. And up next, we have Tate. Last but not least, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself for us.
Hi, I'm Tate. I'm an ADC main, and I'm just here. Here for the fun.
You're chilling.
No,
Thank you for joining us.
I'm just chilling.
So I've already explained it to all the players, but I'm gonna go ahead and explain it for the stream as well. We're basically, the way this is going to work is I'm going to ask a question. All the players will write down the answers that they think will be the best answer to the question I ask, and then after 30 seconds or so, I'm going to ask them all to put their papers up. I'll check their answers, and it'll be 1 point for all the correct answers, no points for whoever gets it wrong, same as usual. I've got 16 questions, 3 different categories. We're going mid-season invitational facts. Then we're going to go into Titan Esports League facts. So everything to do with Titan Esports. And then the third section is going to be champion specifics, like questions. Is everybody ready to begin? Data, if you
I'm Joe ready.
Data, if you want to just send me your answer, that would work perfectly fine.
Okay, and no cool. Google, right? What
no
about
Google
ChatGPT? What?
No,
Firefox, Mozilla.
No searching your answers. You got to answer this from the dome. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong. It is what it is. Okay. All right. So we're gonna hop into our first section of questions. This is gonna be our mid-season invitational facts. The mid-season invitational is coming up very shortly. It's an international event between all the different leagues across the world: LCS, LEC, LCK. Well, I should say the LTA North and LTA South instead of LCS. And it's been hosted for a few years now. Not quite as long as the World Championship, but I do have some questions on this. I did my research. So up first, our first question is going to be, what org has won the most MSI tournaments? You have 30 seconds-ish.
Easy, totally easy. I know this.
And I'm specifically watching you very, very carefully, Jabber. I'm not. If I see any typing.
Wait, is this global? Is this global? Like all orgs? Okay.
Yes. Although
can you read cursive, Gray?
Yes, I can.
I hope so.
It's kind of cheating. It's kind of hacked because I can't see Data, but I'm going to trust that he's got some sort of competitive integrity going on over there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'll let you know when I decide to start cheating.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. All right. Is everybody just about ready?
Yes.
All right. If you want to go ahead and show me your answers, Data, send it to me. I'm not sure who you are referring to. State,
It's a
is
it's
that
a
LECW?
it's a smiling face, right? Surely.
Oh, LEC. LEC. Okay. Jabber, do you have your answers up somewhere for me?
Wait. Is this a region or is this like a specific team?
No, I said the team.
Oh, okay. This is my answer. Can you read
Oh,
that?
that's such great penmanship, though. That's beautiful.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah.
People
One
normally
of
can't read it.
the league teams something for something play.
Yeah, one of the league teams registered for pro play. That was my first answer, and then I put SKT.
Okay, it's a little bit zoomed out of an answer. And then Data, you messaged me RNG.
Yes.
Data is the only one to get this correct. RNG has 3 MSI wins.
What
Man,
the
I'm so
And
fuck?
close. So
yeah,
close.
What a coincidence! The guy without the camera, you got it right.
Yeah,
Holy
can I
shit!
get a fact check on that, please? No.
all right. We gotta, in the essence of time, we gotta go ahead and move on to our next question. All right, so where? Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and just preface this. The MSI tournament has been running since 2015, so it hasn't been running as long as League of Legends competitive has been out. Where was the first MSI tournament held? And I'm wanting a little bit more specific than just a region. I can't give you too many hints.
Damn it. This one might be a little bit better than the last one, I hope.
Okay. All right. We'll see. We shall see. Not a region. Hopefully.
Well,
Are we allowed to? Are we allowed to ask questions like when did the servers move for League of Legends
No.
and stuff like that?
I mean, I don't
It's before then
know
for
if that
sure.
would help. Yeah.
Oh, it was before that. Okay.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
look at that.
We're gonna go ahead and if everybody wants to go ahead and show me their answers, I'm gonna go in the same order. Europe in someone's basement. That was the first Worlds event. That was not MSI. Los Angeles, close, but not
Oh.
quite what I was looking for. And then for Data, your answer was Paris, France. That is also not correct. I am going to give the point to Jabber because he was the closest. It was held in Florida, the United States.
Oh,
Yep.
Florida.
Okay. Yeah, it was held in. I want to say it was held in Miami. I'm not sure though, or it was Orlando. I apologize. Okay, so third question pertaining to the very first MSI tournament. Where or who won the first MSI tournament? What team? Not region.
All right. I'll think deep for this one. Real deep.
Don't think too hard. I can almost see the smoke coming out of your ears.
There's so much smoke happening inside. Help. Oh my gosh.
There's only 5 of these questions, so don't worry too hard. Okay.
It's okay. I have no shame. I'm proud of every answer I've given so far.
All right, is everybody ready? You can go ahead and show me your answers now. All right, I've got T1 coming from Tate. I've got T1 also coming from Jabber. And from Data, I have the RNG guess. So, as good of a
Actually,
guess as
RNG was a really
RNG
good guess.
is, Data, it was a different LPL team. It was Edward Gaming EDG who won the very first MSI tournament. So, nobody gets any points for that one,
That's my
which is
second guess.
quite sad. Quite sad. All right.
Isn't there?
So, question number 4. Right now, we are sitting at 1 point for Data and 1 point for Jabber. We got to get Tate on the board somewhere, so hopefully, eventually, we get there.
Inshallah.
No, question number 4. How many times has MSI been held in North America? And you have the chance to earn 2 points here. I'm not going to tell you why, but I'm just going to let you know that.
Hmm.
All right, is everybody ready?
Mhm.
Okay. We can go ahead and present our answers now. All right, coming from Tate, we have the answer of 4. Okay, so the answer from Jabber is going to be 2 in NA, 1 in Canada. Can you be a little bit more specific about the one in Canada?
It was in the country north of the United States. It was in Ontario. It
It's
was
not quite where I was going for that with that,
Okay.
but then
How do you
Data,
get more specific?
yeah, you'll understand in a minute. Data, you
Okay.
answered 2 times. Do you have any elaboration on your answer?
I have a little bit, but it's a guess. Are you counting this year?
I am. So the very first MSI championship was held in Tallahassee, Florida in 2015, won by Edward Gaming. The second time that it will ever be held in MSI is actually this year being held in Canada. That's why I asked you that question, Jabber, because that would give you 2 points. So, Jabber, you overshot it by 1 total. Tate, you
Oh, I
overshot it
see
by
what you're
2.
I see.
Yeah, I was going to give the extra point for whoever specifically said that it was happening this year in Canada. Okay, so
That makes
since the
sense.
question was how many times it happened in NA and Data did answer to it and explained his answer correctly, I'm going to give him an extra 2 points for that answer. All right,
Only
moving
give me
on.
one. Only give me
What?
one. I didn't know it was 2 including this year. I guess 2 without including this year.
I'll give you the 1 point for the this year thing.
Okay,
And
that
the other
works.
one, yeah. Okay, so
Faithful competitor.
Yeah, what a
question
boss
number.
guy.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, props. Question number 5. In 2019, it's a big year for MSI, and there's a lot of reasons why, but one specific. In 2019, TL and G2 faced off in the MSI finals. It was and still is the fastest best of 5 finals in international event history. What was the total time of the finals in minutes, whole minutes, just guess in whole minutes, and then however close you are will dictate how many points you get. If you are within, uh, I'd say 6 minutes above and below, you get 1 point. If you're within 4 minutes above and below, you get 2 points, and if you're within 3, you get 3 points. It is still currently the fastest best of 5 in international event history.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
G2
so funny.
wipes TL. But NA was very happy because we made it to a finals in an
We made it.
international event.
Yeah, we made it to finals.
Just
Yeah.
happy to be here, man. Just happy
Yeah,
to
exactly.
be here.
All right. It looks like everybody's done. I have my answer from Data. Okay, so for Tate, we have 45 minutes. For Jabber, we have 63 minutes. And for Data, I have 62 minutes. I tell you what, none of you were within my ranges. So I'm going to go with whoever was closest gets a point. Changing the rules. Sorry about that in advance. But I feel like it's kind of troll to not have somebody have a point. So in 2019, the grand finals of MSI held between TL and G2 was finished in 71 minutes. Nobody was within the 6-minute kind of give or take on either side time range for the 1 point. So I'm going to give it to whoever's closest. And that would be Jabber with 63 minutes, you said, right?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right. Jabber gets another point. So now we are at 2 for Data, 2 for Jabber, and a goose egg for Tate. It's okay. It's okay. Plenty of time, plenty more questions to bring it up.
I gotta represent Gladiator somehow, right?
Somehow.
We've got 10 more.
As the resident Gladiator specific league OP, the babysitter, as I like to call myself for Gladiator, we got to do a little bit better than this. All right.
I'm trying.
All right. That completes our first section about MSI. So now we're going to move on to section 2, which is all about the Titan Esports League. Is everybody ready for the next section? There's 5 questions total.
Joe, ready?
I am ready.
Hi, sir.
All right. Question number 1. Okay. How many leagues is Titan operating this hot Titan summer split? This
Is a league like Vank? Like Vank would be a league?
Yes. Individual leagues. This is going to be a multiple question, choice question. So Data, I'm not even going to look at your first answer. All right. So our 4 options here. A is 5 leagues. B is 8 leagues. C is 9 leagues. And D is 6 leagues. If you need me to repeat that, I can. But those are our options. I'm going to repeat it again for everybody, just in case. A is 5 leagues. B is 8 leagues. C is 9 leagues. And D is 6 leagues.
Hey, what's the cap on your league?
My league?
No,
Gladiator? Oh, it's P4.
Cap?
Yeah, what's the cap?
Yeah, P4, Plat 4.
Plat 4.
Okay. Oh, wait. I'm changing my answer.
Might give us a couple more seconds, and then we're gonna go ahead and you'll have to.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, Data. Did you send me a second? You sticking with your original answer? All righty. So everybody can go and show me their answer. I'm gonna start with Tate again. We go with D, 6 leagues. Jabber is going to give me the same answer, D for 6 leagues, and then Data gives me the answer B for 8 leagues. So I'm going to go ahead and count us out all of the leagues that we are running in Titan Esports right now. Starting with, we have Gladiator, which is a P4 cap. We've got Divinity, which is an E4 cap. We've got Berserker, which is another E4 cap. That's 3. There's 3 D4 cap leagues. So Diamond 4 cap leagues, which are Conqueror, Eternal, and Olympus. So that puts us at 6. 6. I can't count. Vanquisher is our Masters 100 LP cap league. That puts us at 7. And then Immortals, our 600 LP cap league, puts us at 8. So Data does get another point because he did answer the correct number, which is 8 leagues. Now, Data, tell me, did you actually know that or did you just guess?
It was a pretty accurate guess. I knew Watercat himself was in 3 leagues, all in the diamond range. So I knew with 1 low, 2 plat leagues, and then him, it had to be 6 or it had to be like 8 or more.
Yeah, I mean that's solid investigative skills, solid critical thinking skills. So now we're at 3 points for Data, 2 points for Jabber, and still the goose egg for Tate.
I'll
We're
get
gonna
there
go ahead and
someday.
move on. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and move on to our second question. You have to be able to name 5 Titan League OPs or directors. That does not include other staff like recording staff or
Do you count?
content staffs. I am a league OP, so I do count. So content, casting, those don't count. It's only league OPs or directors. Just give me 5 names. You have probably 12 to choose from.
This is so stressful.
I know for a fact that at least 4 have roasted me alone in the Gladiator chat. So I know you know these people.
I don't look at the. Oh, you're.
Yeah,
Look, if you don't
be.
if you don't at least know your league's OP and director, you got an issue.
That's unfair.
We
She
got
has access to the
issues.
Gladiator chat, and we don't.
Okay, but I'm also like an idiot, so shh, it's okay.
Okay, all right.
I wasn't gonna guess any of these. Oh no.
All right. You can go ahead and show me your answers now. I've got my answer from Data.
I've got 2 meme answers.
That's so
All
bad.
right, let's see. Okay, so from this is your best chance. From Tate, we have Gray, Goldyn, Relics, Loki, and Excel. Excel does not work for Titan. I hate to admit it. And Goldyn does content. Relics is the Vanquisher director, so I'd hope you'd get that Data. Moving on to Jabber, we have Relix, Gray, Sems, Improvise, and Zailberg.
Zyberos.
Okay. I'm gonna wait till the end.
They're just players.
roast
They're
you.
just players.
And from Data, we have Sems, Gray, and I'm cooked. I don't talk to any of these people. So, all of your options were okay. Sems, obvious. He's the owner of the league. Boogie, who is the Immortal director. Relix, who is the Vanquisher director. Brendan, Sluggo, Brendan with an A, also known as Fang. Loki, Nightclaw, Gray, Ivar, Furman, and Dilly are all league OPs. So 12 total names that you could have chosen from, and nobody gets any points for this question.
Darn.
Gosh.
All
Wait,
right.
what does OP stand for in this context?
League operations.
Oh, okay, operation. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's for operator, but close enough.
Yeah, I'm the op. What you mean? So section number 2, question number 3. We're about halfway there. In what year was the first Titan split under Sems's leadership? Again, in what year, calendar year, was the first Titan split under Sems's leadership? All right. If everybody has their answers ready, we're going to go and flip them. We're going to check them. First up for Tate, her answer was 2020. Okay, I need you to remove your finger there, Jabber, because I'm not reading the rest of it. I just want to see the number. 2021 was Jabber's answer. the year in which he became the director. Okay. And then from Data, the answer is 2022. And Data was the only one who got it right. Sems took over
my
leadership of
God.
Titan Esports in 2022.
I'd like
So that
I'd like to rulebook Data. I'd like to rulebook him.
Bro's got Google
does he need to be
Translate
yeeted?
for-
He needs to be yeeted, huh?
Get it out of trivia night.
Yeah.
He's too good. This
Okay,
is so
so
good.
True.
now we are at Data having 4 points. We're at Jabber having 2 points, and Tate, I'm not even gonna say it out loud. Moving on to question number 4, section 2. Titan Esports Leagues facts. Name 3. There's 6 total leagues that were played last split in the winter split. Name 3 winning teams from winter split. These are teams who won their league championship in Titan Esports last split. Look at that split. You're
I've got a chance in hell on this one.
I can
Yeah, I
get
don't
one of them right.
even
Oh my
know.
God, it's
okay.
true.
Okay. If it's too hard, I'll back it down to 2.
Oh, thanks.
Just because I know 2 of you played last split, so you should know at least one of them. But I want to make it a little bit harder than just that. Give y'all a few more seconds.
This is so good.
I'm trying to give y'all some extra time. All right. Is everybody ready with their 2 answers? I changed the question just because it was hard. Okay. So from Tate, I have CB. Actually, you know what? Let me change this. Let me change the rules. You get 1 point for every one you get right. Okay. I'm
Shot some
trying to
more
help y'all out.
dice.
I'm trying to help y'all out, make it a little bit more fair competition. Okay. For Tate, I have CB and JR. That means, actually, I don't know what CB stands for, but they've had 2 teams. That's where the org that Excel owns. And then JR is Jolly Rogers. From Jabber, I have the answer Akuma and Dorado. And then from Data, I have TMG Death Knights and Akuma.
That's who it was.
Akuma. So this one's actually pretty easy to find out because it's in the announcements where all of the banners are. For Immortal League, Immortal was won by Maelstrom Esports with Kaztech. Vanquisher, Data, you got this one right. Vanquisher was won by TMG Death Knights. For Conqueror, it was won by Syndicate Like a Dragon. For Eternal, it was Omega Gaming Fever. For Divinity, it was TFF Astronauts. And for Gladiator, it was TD Harmony. So the only one that got one right was Data. He's kind of running away with this,
Stop
guys.
beating
Come
me.
on.
GG's.
Stop beating the allegations, Data.
That's the league I play in, and I lost to them. What do you want from me?
I mean, he's got a point. Dude, you did play in Vanquisher last split, Jabber.
Hey, you should
Let
know.
him-
I don't pay attention to that stuff.
He gets
I
knocked out.
I do remember after. Yeah. Once I'm knocked out, I just out of sight, out of mind. No, but I do. Once you said it, I remembered.
All right. So for our last question, this one's kind of a hack. I honestly would be surprised if any of you gets it. But for our last question in this section, actually, the first, let me say that Data is now at 5 points, Jabber at 2, and Tate at 0. For our 5th question, this is our last question in the Titan Esports League facts. How can you get a custom role in Titan Esports server? you can get your own Titan esports server role. Don't look at the camera like you're questioning it. You should know this, Tate. Like you I know you know this.
Is pleading and begging for it like allowed?
I swear, if I flop this, I'm gonna cry on cam.
You should. Okay. I've got Data's answer. That means we're gonna go ahead and reveal our answers. So for Tate, we have subscribing to Titan Plus.
Oh my god, that's fuck.
For Jabber, watch your profanity. For Jabber, we have
we're not allowed to
winning
swear.
a split. Winning a split does get you a special golden name, but it does not give you your own role.
Okay, but
And
to
then
get that
for-
golden name, don't you have to get a new role?
No, you don't get a new. Well, I mean,
Okay,
yes.
well,
You,
how do they? Hey, oh.
Not a custom.
all right,
It is
all right.
paired
Hold
role.
on. I'll
That's
make
a
an
win on
admin
it. That's win by
decision.
technicality.
I'll make an admin decision after I read Data's answer. Data's
Okay.
answer. Data's answer was pay Sems a bunch of money, which also is not technically wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead and give all three of you a point because
Yes.
Tate had the most specific and correct answer, which is Titan Plus or Titan Elite. You can pay a certain sum of money to Sems, fund Sems's Euro trip, and you can get your own custom role. So
What's
all
your
three of you
custom
get
role,
points. Mine?
Yeah, what's yours?
Strong, baby. So now we have Tate's on the board finally. We have
Yes.
Data with 6 points, we have Jabber with 3, and we have Tate with Uno. All right,
Number
let's
one.
move on to section 3. Bust this out. Honestly, this should be the most fair section. It's League of Legends related questions. It's specifically about champions. It could be about abilities, it could be about names, it could be all sorts of things. So I'm gonna go and dive into it. Question number 1 in section 3, champion specific questions. What is the name of Teemo's ult?
Damn,
The
I actually
name
don't know that.
specifically, yeah. When I was researching, I was actually surprised to find out the answer to this question. I'm not gonna lie to you. I always just call him something specific that's not the name of the ability.
I think I actually got it.
I
Potentially.
I don't think I
Potentially, it's not the obvious answer
Potentially.
that you would think it is. I'm gonna point that one out now. Is everybody good to go? I've got Data's answer. All right, if you want to go ahead and present your answers. Surprise. That's what he says when he launches his ult. It is not the name of the ult. Next, I have Toxic Trap. All right, and then that was from Jabber, and then from Data, my answer that I received is Mushroom Toss. Like I said, it is not the obvious answer. It actually has nothing to do with mushrooms. So the name of Teemo's ult is Noxious Trap.
Oh.
so.
I need group consensus as to whether or not I will allow a half point
I think that's
for
fair.
somebody getting half of the answer right.
I think that's
fair. He's close
Uh,
enough.
Yeah, it's close.
Okay, I'll take it.
Now, do we
I'll
do 1
take
point or
the-
half point? Is it just a half point?
Look,
half.
I'll take the full. I'll take the full pity of the group. Like, a whole point would be great. Like,
I mean, you're already kind of down in the fist of 5 here. Right?
Data's already winning it all.
You know what? You're right.
We got
What-
a bunch of
Allegedly.
questions left.
In the full one, I feel like I have to like consolidate here and just root against data. Honestly,
That's fine.
what
Well,
I have to do.
So for this next question, I think Tate should have an advantage, and you'll know why in a second. Question number 2 in our champion specific, League of Legends specific questions. What is the cost of a BF sword
Oh.
in gold? What is the gold cost?
Yeah, that's not champion related, brother. That's not champion
Yeah.
related, I think.
These guys aren't ADC.
Where?
You should know the answer to this question regardless.
Honestly, you
true.
should.
I better hope I got it right.
All right, looks like everybody's done. If you want to go ahead and present me your answers. All right. I've got 1300, 1300, and from data 1300. Everybody gets a point. It's 1300 gold. Thank God Tate knows. That's
Okay,
like the
okay,
most
all right.
important gold number outside of 1100 for your Dirk.
Yes.
All right, so now we have. Wait, let me tally up. 1, 2, 3. We have 7 points for Data. It was in the lead. We got 4.5 points for Jabber and 2 points for Tate. So he's officially making the comeback. It's real. It's on, and we're moving on to the third question.
Great. How much did you say Dirk cost? What was the cost of Dirk again?
You said 1100, but I fear it's 1,000. Am I wrong on that?
It is 1,000.
It is 1,000.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's 1,000.
okay. I was thinking.
Great. Oh
Can I save
my.
myself? Can I save myself? Can I save myself real quick?
In his defense, it
Yes,
used
I
to be
said-
1100.
It did used to be 1100, and
Yeah,
also
I did, yeah.
Gear plus Sheen is 1100 as a Ezreal main. That is important to know.
I don't even think that's accurate anymore.
That's fair.
No.
Isn't
It's
Sheen
Wait, is it?
900 gold
tier
now?
Sheen
Is it?
700 for Sheen?
I think it's
It used to
900
be.
now, isn't it?
No, it's 700. I'm pretty sure.
Someone's got to look this
Sheen
up.
cost. I got
All right,
you.
we're looking it up.
What do we get a fact check here, please, real quick?
Oh, it is 900 gold.
Damn.
Holy.
Okay, so my I was off. I'm
Look, this is
used
why
to
he's making the
old
questions,
gold.
guys.
Yeah, and
Yes, this is why I make the questions. I googled all the. I made sure of all these answers before I made the questions. All right, number 3. This is also
funny.
another question that you all should get right, hopefully, because it's very basic to League of Legends. At what level are you able to change your yellow trinket to a red or blue trinket?
Wait a minute. I'll wait on it, but
Blue trinket specific.
okay.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I think everybody's ready. Jabber's staring ominously at his hotel wall. All right. Level 9, and Data's answer, if my
1300.
Discord will open, is level 9. Everybody gets a point. That is the correct answer, and it is just blue trinket. I just said red because for some reason my brain thought that. Look, I'm special. I'm touched by God. What can I say? We are at
Graced
8
by
points.
angels.
We are at 8 points for Data. We are at 5.5 points for Jabber, and we are at 3 points for
Not bad.
Tate. We're on our last
cooking.
3 questions. Jabber could still win if Data doesn't get any of these right, and Jabber gets all 3. Tate, you could potentially take second from Jabber if he just did brain farts, I guess.
Yeah,
That can
Unfortunately,
happen.
I don't think that's possible because of the specific next question.
it's okay. It's okay. Hopeful.
Question number 4. This is another item related question. What item can you buy and link with a teammate to divert 12% pre-mitigated damage that your teammate takes to yourself?
I thought this was going to be the Callista Spear one. It's like, holy. All right.
And I'll repeat it just for audience. I know we're probably going to have it on screen, but what item can you buy and link with a teammate to divert 12% pre-mitigated damage from your teammate to yourself? Is everybody ready? Okay, if you want to go ahead and show me the answers. Tate says Knight's Vow. Jabber also says Knight's Vow. And Data also says Knight's Vow. That is the correct answer. We are now sitting at 9 points for Data. We're at 6.5 points for Jabber. And we're at 4 points for Tate.
Oh yeah.
Moving on to the 5th question of this section. What is the attack speed debuff amount that is received from purchasing Frozen Heart? And this is a multiple choice question before you answer. I'm going to go ahead and give you the choices. A is 10%, B is 15%, C is 20%, and D is 22%. I'll give you all a minute. This is important stuff to know for everybody. So I hope you know it. Jabber looks like he's playing around, so I think we're going to go ahead and say...
You can't read this on the item description when you purchase it. You have to have it memorized.
All right. Everyone put it up. So, Tate gives me the answer of A, which is 10%. Jabber, you are on the wrong part of your page, bud.
Wait, no. Here. Oh, sorry.
You're holding it. Jabber says C, 20%, and Data also says C, 20%. And C is the correct answer. It is 20% attack speed debuff.
Woo!
Huge item for tanks into attack speed carrying champions. We are now at 9 points for Data, 7.5 points for Jabber, and still a solid 4 points for Tate. Moving on to our last question. Question number 6, section number 3, champion and item specific questions. At what level can Ornn utilize his passive to give his first teammate their ornament?
Okay, do you count? Are you yourself a teammate in a game of League of Legends?
No.
Okay.
I'm not talking about when he gets his own item. I'm talking about when the first ornament can be given to a teammate. It should be even more important for players under the P4 cap because generally those games are won by heavy scaling team fighting compositions. Kind of important to know, considering Ornn is probably the most scaling tank in the game.
He's pointing at you.
So going
Late game, late game oriented champion. All right, is everybody ready? Data, I have your answer. Jabber, we can go ahead and put them up. Level 7 for Tate. I've got Jabber at 14 and Data says 13. Data, sir. Level 13 is when he gets his first ornament upgrade, but it goes on himself, not a teammate. Level 14, Jabber, you are correct. It is 14 is when he can give his first ornament upgrade to a teammate. So that concludes our trivia on this week's episode of Titan After Dark. In first place, by so much surprise, we have Data. He managed to pull a total of 9 points in this event. Jabber actually surprisingly got pretty close there at the end with 8.5. That half point kind of hurt you, buddy. I'm going to be honest. You should have taken the one. And then Tate
I said I would take the full pity of the group.
Tate bringing up the rear with 4 points. I appreciate everybody for coming out today. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of trivia, a little bit of bullying Gray for being wrong about item costs. Not in the actual trivia game, though. I was right about the trivia game. And I appreciate y'all coming out. It was a good time. And hopefully we will have you guys back on Titan After Dark again before long.